So our keynote this morning is by Rowan. I learned to pronounce it right this morning. I always thought it was Rowan. So anyway, we had breakfast this morning. She is the president of Open Source and Open Source Matters, the board that runs Joomla, and we're just so happy to have her here today. She's got a little accent, so if you're, you might have a hard time understanding her. Just a little accent, and but she's here to share with us a little bit about the project, what's going on, and just an excellent opening keynote. So let's give her a hand, and then we'll turn it over.
Good morning. My name's Rowan, as Rod has just said. Most of you probably won't be able to understand me, but I actually have no accent in English. None at all, which makes it really difficult to understand me. As Rod said, I'm currently the president of Open Source Matters. We're the legal entity that has a bank account, lawyers, and runs the project. I was going to do a completely and totally different talk today, but he did most of it yesterday, and I didn't want to repeat it. So I want to talk about why Joomla, and I want to talk about my story, and then some other stories about people that I know who love this project. I also hate public speaking, so I'm standing here shaking like a leaf. I used to build websites in something called Postnuke a very long time ago, and then my partner said, "You need a better CMS," and he introduced me to Mambo. And I got all of my sites moved over to Mambo, and then the fork happened. And so I had to go back to my clients and go, it's going to be the same, it's just a different name. It's going to be Joomla. And my clients went, what's with these names, Mambo, Joomla? Why can't it just say we build websites? Anyway, so a very long time ago I switched, and I stuck around, and went to a JoomlaDay in the UK, then didn't really join the community then. Then I was in JM Beyond in the Netherlands, having overslept because I was working all night doing site live. I'd blown up one wing of the hotel with a dodgy Apple charger, and I was staggering around looking for coffee. And Rob saw me and thought, this woman looks lost, and she looks like she needs coffee. And he came over and said, I have coffee. And I said, thank you. And I sat down with him and an old community member, Diane Henning, and we talked, and that was when I decided that I really wanted to join this community. And since then, I've worked in teams. Is Jess here? Jess isn't here. Jess got me into the JET team, which is a program we run to get people to our conferences who otherwise maybe couldn't afford it, and also to recognise our volunteers. I started there, then I became a member of the community leadership team, which was part of our old structure. Then events director. I ran the World Conference in Rome. Who was at the World Conference in Rome? I know you were. And last year I was elected president. Joomla is an entirely volunteer-led and managed organisation. Nobody gets paid. Something I want to change, which I'll touch on in a minute. And we're different to our siblings. Our siblings have a big corporate company behind them, lots of money, and a corporate structure. We are purely volunteer-led, and we need more volunteers. So if you actively are not volunteering yet, please talk to some of the people, team leads that are here, and get involved, because we really, really, really need your help. I'm doing this out of head, so I'm trying to figure out where I'm going next now. Why Joomla? Joomla has a hugely powerful core. What you can do in Joomla, you have to use plugins with the other systems. Drupal's different, but WordPress, you have to use plugins. And many people fail to realise how much is in core. There are core features that I have only discovered in the last year and a half that I'm now using. Sorry, I'm trying to... I had another talk in my head, and now I've got to move it out of the way.
You're doing great, Rowan.
Do you know what? Can I just take questions?
Sure.
Why Joomla?
Yeah.
Can I take other questions? Because it's people and community community and great software, and as a t-shirt that we had printed, we rule the web and we need to start ruling it more. Other questions?
As president of OSM, what is your role, responsibility, what are you trying to accomplish most?
Cat herding.
What?
Cat herding, sleepless nights, protecting our trademarks. We're setting up a 501, finally, because we're a not-for-profit in the state. We've not got no access to grants and not-for-profit programs and everything else. That was incorporated this week. Once the government starts working again, we will get our proper 501 status, and we'll be able to reduce our operations costs, apply for grants, get some money in, set up some educational programs, start doing bigger global events, start making some noise. Sandra and I refer to Joomla as the top secret CMS because people don't know about it. And that's what we're planning to do. So we've set up the 501. I've done some bylaws changes which were passed because our voting system was a bit strange. So now in our elections, every single member of the community gets to vote. And I'm trying to make it more democratic. We also have closed voting now, so that nobody knows how you voted. Because in the past, as you probably remember, that was a bit messy. What else? What else are we doing, Sandra? Oh, advisory board. We have an advisory board now. Chuck is hiding. He's on the advisory board. We also have Ken Crowder. He's our sort of inside man. We have a couple of friends of mine in there. Bruce Lawson, if any of you were in Rome and up on the Sunday morning, you may remember him. He is the co-editor of the HTML5 standard. He invented the picture element. He's one of the main reasons that we have accessibility on the web. So he's bringing his knowledge into the advisory board. We also have Simon Bardrek, who's an old friend of mine, who was community manager at Oracle, then went to Kaspersky. He's now running a startup in Prague, but he's got a long history in this sort of thing. Who else have we got? Zaheda Borat, who was the founder of GSOC. She's joining, she's head of open source at AWS. Denise Cooper used to be a Drupal board member, she's joined. Who else is there? Someone else.
John Rampton, is he on there?
No, he kind of dropped out. Oh, James Vasily. James Vasily from the open source. It's a legal thing, I can't remember. Have I mentioned I hate doing this? I'm much better sort of 3 to 1. So yes, we've got a great advisory board who are going to sit on the side and look at what we're doing and give us ideas and help us to grow. We still need an ombudsman. I'm trying to find a saint. If anyone knows a saint, it would be good.
Yeah, have you set up your grant writing and management team yet?
I have one person, but I need a team. Are you interested?
I am interested in that.
See me after this. Cool. Oh, you're a friend of Todd, so you must be really cool.
Actually, she's
I'm
the reason.
51%.
Yeah, she's 51 out of 49.
Questions?
So Joomla's open source free use. How is OSM funded? What are the challenges? What are the opportunities?
Okay, in the golden days of website advertising, we did really, really well. That's died. That's nothing to do with Joomla. People are click blind and they've got ad blockers and everything else. So a lot of our money came from that. Now it's more strategic partnerships. So we have a new partnership with Brandit, domains.joomla.org. It's soft launched at the moment, it's in beta. You can move your whole domain stable over there at a really good price, and we, as a project, get part of that. So that's a really easy way for everyone to give back and help us earn some money. We have launch.joomla.org, which used to be joomla.com. That's a free forever, fully operational Joomla site you can spin up. But should you convert to a paying customer with cloud access, we see a bit of that. So those are the sort of relationships we're trying to build now, and that's why the 501, because grants and not-for-profit stuff would really help us to boost. We're turning on under $200,000 this year, and it is a very tight corner to turn.
How about the, how do people give $5? How can we contribute?
Just go to Joomla.org, and down the bottom there's a button, and you can donate more than $5 if you like. And if you want to donate even more, talk to Jason.
Going back to why Joomla, and I know why Joomla, but my challenge is to explain to my clients why Joomla. And the last time we lost to insisted they needed WordPress on a Joomla site, said it was better.
See, this is what this talk was supposed to be, but then I didn't really, I was going to compare WordPress and Joomla. And because I know I've got WordPress people here, I didn't want to hurt their feelings. We need to make more noise, and there are reasons, and we'll have a 10-minute chat, and you get a private version of my previous talk, because I think there are reasons.
I'm a WordPress person in the room, and I'd love to hear it, because I think every CMS has its strengths, and I'd love to hear why Joomla.
Let me get some water. So, some of it comes down to money. WordPress can afford to advertise on television now. I don't know if you do it in the States, but we call a vacuum cleaner a Hoover in the UK, and that's because everybody knows that brand name. Lily Allen put WordPress in one of her songs. Everyone has heard the name. Does it make it better? For some things, yes. I run a couple of WordPress sites. But with Joomla, and what I found when I was rebuilding a portal for someone, is that I was having to find plugins for pretty much everything. Contact form, news feeds, banners, custom fields. Everything needed a plugin. And that's why I think Joomla for a lot of sites is better, because you can go so far with the core before you even have to think about a third party. Also, people say, but WordPress has got 56,000, isn't it? Plugins in the directory. It's a big, big number, and we've only got 8. And I didn't have time to do all.
8,000, right? Not the same plugins?
7,932. Sandra, is that right? I did the number. 7,932 extensions. She hates it when the numbers are wrong, so I have to check. But if you look on the WordPress directory and you take all the abandonware out, because if an extension on the Joomla extension directory isn't valid for the current version, it's gone. If you take all of those out, you take all of the extensions that are doing what our core does, I reckon those numbers are probably closer together than you think. And it goes back to this top secret CMS thing. We need to start making some noise. A friend of mine, Noreen Cesario, who's a marketing expert, did a marketing proposal and a structure and how we should, and her tagline was "Be loud and proud." And that's what we need to do. How do you convince your customers? You show them. You spin up a launch site and you go, contact it here, this here, this here. And you talk about security. They can go and look this up on Google. We are really good at security. Okay, if your site's not up to date and an exploit's been found, then yes, you may well get hacked. But we're good at jumping on top of things, fixing them, and releasing. So security, extensibility, but also the fact that the core is so powerful. We've got some new stuff coming in 4 as well with workflows, so you can have article states and publishing workflows. And because we're the hippies, I suppose. We're the band of crazy volunteers. I mean, when I tell people I don't get paid to do this, they look at me and say, "You need help." And I say, "No, just your wallet would help." But I build Joomla sites for a living, and I do okay with it, and it's fine. So yeah, we're this. If you believe that open source matters, if you believe that the closed source SaaSes are not the way we should go, then people should use Joomla. And you will find clients that believe that. I do find clients that believe that, and there are a lot of them out there. Does that help?
I just have, can I add to what you just said?
Of course you can. Do you want the microphone?
I don't need a I don't need a
You're
microphone.
trying to make this a waste of time.
I'm gonna sell it. Okay, so my name's Laura Gordon, I've been building Joomla sites forever. So, I have a client, a yoga studio, who said, I need to go with WordPress because that's what everybody else is doing, and I don't want Joomla. So I said, fine, I'm gonna do dollar for dollar on what it's gonna cost for me to make what I've already done for you in Joomla and WordPress. It was gonna cost 3 times as much. This is reality. So that is what makes it. Now, unfortunately, what Rowan's saying, which is correct, that we're the hippies, that's not gonna get my client to stay with me. It won't, no matter how much they love me. But if you can show them dollar for dollar, that's another thing. So anytime, if you get that, take the time, go through each piece that you've already given them. And what I found in WordPress, a lot of their plugins, when you buy it, it's only for one installation. So when you're paying for that stupid contact form, $50, $100, that is for one website. As a developer, I'm gonna charge the begeeses out of you guys if you're gonna make me pay $50 for every extension, every time I use it. It's not gonna work. I mean, I'm at Rutgers State University in New Jersey. We're managing over 120 Joomla websites. There is no way we could go with that model. So, just throwing that out there, and thank you for what you do, and there you go. I just converted everybody, right?
And you reminded me.
Yeah.
People are beginning to come to me and go, I don't want a WordPress site because that's what everyone else has. So selling that is also a selling point. It's like, well, do you want what everyone else has, or do you want something a bit more special? And that's something that where's Alexander? It's something that we've been talking about, that we're trying to spin up, and I think we'll get some marketing going on that as well. I have 5 minutes.
So, as an agency that does both Joomla and WordPress, and we're talking about loud and proud, it seems that Joomla wants to be more restrictive on using the logo, the trademark Joomla name than WordPress. Who kind of says do whatever you want.
What?
And I mention this because when I first looked at adding the Joomla logo onto our corporate website, it was almost a little intimidating, almost made me
How long
shy.
ago was that? How long ago was that?
3-4 years ago, maybe something like that.
We've been working on our trademark, and it's beginning to be a lot easier, a lot simpler.
And with Joomla, you can have a company called Joomla, you can get approved, it's open source standards. We'll say, okay, you have a license to use it, but you just have to put you're not affiliated with it. You cannot have a site, like if I wanted to say that I have Joomla templates, I'd have to get approved by it, but they will approve it. You cannot use a WordPress name.
Yeah, they cannot.
You cannot, in a URL, I can't say WordPressthemes.com or,
And the
best
sad
of
thing, you see,
WordPress.
WordPress is shortened to WP. You can't really do that with Joomla. I mean, which of the letters do you use? I mean, we refer to it as J, but that's even more obscure and top secret CMS. So all the WordPress people just do WP themes and everything else. You can get authorized. If you've had a problem, I'll give you my business card and I'll get it sorted out. So all we check that you're a Joomla website, we check that you're doing Joomla things, we ask you to put a disclaimer at the bottom, we give you an approval, and that lasts forever.
So, no problems, I've got the Joomla logo, but the process, I would suggest, maybe
That's what we're improving.
To say, hey, here's the logo, use it.
That's what we're improving. We've got branding guidelines on docs now. We've got a brand manual as well. So that's still live.
Yeah, it is.
I just have to check because otherwise you shout at me. Sandra's our marketing director, by the way. In fact, let's embarrass some people. The lady in the lovely yellow dress with the matching hair, this is Sandra. She runs our marketing department. She also runs our documentation. She works a silly number of hours a week. And yeah, neither do I. I've got you there. Next to it is Alison Meeks. Alison Meeks runs our social media team. And if you're on our Facebook group, this lady is the police. Jason, this event is amazing, by the way. Jason's currently our capital team lead, and he has just been elected to the board of directors as legal and finance director. Oh, well, I'll be nice to you, Mike. I'm trying to think, who else is here?
Alex.
Oh, yes!
That's what I did.
I'm getting over here. Alexander Metzler is our vice president and a fantastic human being. Would you like me to start? I've got 2 minutes. I could annihilate you in that. Robbie's just joined our capital team. Good morning, Rob. Elisa has designed our new back end. When's your talk on the back end? Today? Today? So if you want to see what the back end of 4 is going to look like, come to this lady's talk. Who else have we got?
Todd, it's a certification.
And the wonderful Todd, who manages an exam like no man can manage an exam.
They did a wonderful job of setting up, so we had to listen to that. They gave 2 snacks.
That's because I wasn't there
I
this
know
year.
that.
It was me that caused the chaos last year.
I don't know about that.
Right,
Lisa, she's on the site showcase team. I believe she wants to do something else now, right?
Yeah.
We need to find her a position.
nice to meet you. So I'm here all day, come talk to me, you can't shut me up. Hopefully you've understood some of the things I've said. And I'm going to get this. Take it away.
Give her a hand, folks. Thank you.